All right, and we are live. So, hey there, everybody. Wonderful Saturday morning. Just wanted to do a live stream with some friends, show off some stuff that I got, and just chat with people. So, if you have any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them. Mark Shabby Geek, right over. Oh, I'm backwards. Right up here. And Mark
Morning.
Blue Harvest Vintage Toys.
Yeah, you're getting sick of me, aren't you?
No way. So,
Yeah, you're getting sick of me. All right. Just thumb it up. Like the stream.
Yep. Looks like Timo's already here. Timo is one of the people I played Star Wars Battlefront with early on when I started doing my stream. So we'd always he'd try to teach me some German when we were playing. So
Guten Tag.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good morning.
Timo. Yeah. Yeah. And then Gute Arbeit, which is, I believe it's good job, right?
Ah.
Hopefully.
It might be. Hopefully. It might be some kind of job.
Guten Tag. My friend. Yep. Morning Raven. It was really fun. Yep. Raven's awesome. Also in Minnesota.
Really watching you.
Yeah.
Very early in the morning, though, for me. Yeah. Unfortunately. I'd watch them more, but too early in the morning for me sometimes.
Yeah, completely understandable. It was fun. We did the Mount Rushmore, Star Wars Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
it was really fun. And I couldn't just do 4 people. I had to do a light side and a dark side. And mine were Qui-Gon, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Ahsoka for the light side. And then dark side, I went Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, and Darth Maul.
Good choices.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched the stream last week when you was on.
Mm-hmm.
With that Watto and Darth Vader discussion.
Oh
that was amazing. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, they crack me up every time we watch it. It's
oh yeah,
amazing.
Hey, Brandon Raven even did a Shabby's Dance Friday a couple of weeks back. She even did one. I saw her dancing away.
You know, Fridays are such a crazy day for me. At the end of the week, working in a school, it's like, thank God the week is over. Especially yesterday with having Valentine's Day parties and kids being loaded up on sugar.
Valentine's Day, what's that? Never.
Yeah. What?
Hey, Cat. I see cats in the stream.
Hey, Cat.
Yep.
Cat.
Yeah. So it's pretty cute. My niece got me something from her Valentine's, and it's lollipop rings, and it's Mando and Baby Yoda. So I'll be eating those later.
Nice.
And then my mom is a manager at a bakery, and they actually run 2 stores, and they do a thing called a cupcake walk where you can get the big boxes of cupcakes, and there's like 60 different flavors and stuff like that.
Oh.
So I've got a Baby Yoda cupcake that she brought. So yeah, they made like over 6,000 cupcakes, and it's still not enough. So
wow,
pretty crazy. But
won't be enough for me.
No, she asked me how many I wanted, and I said, "Well, bring me like 1 or 2 of each flavor." And she's like, "You do realize we have 60 flavors of cupcakes?" And I was like, "Oh, never mind."
60 flavors.
One of each.
Yeah.
He'll eat them on every live stream he does. Which is about 60. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, the Bez. Nice shirt. Yeah, the Mandalorian. It was just one target. There's Cat.
Yep.
Raven. Timo.
Hello, Terrence.
Hello.
So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to show, and I've got even more on the way. and I just keep getting boxes, and it's crazy. But
Awesome.
I don't know if anybody saw it. Waited 6 hours for the live stream. Timo says, I always forget about the time differences. So like, I woke up randomly and I saw the message from Usual Mike saying that, or the tweet saying like, would you be interested in like a live stream in a couple hours? And I gave it a heart, a like, and then I fell back asleep because it would have been 4 a.m.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So,
3 hours.
3
It
hours.
just flies by though. When you were having these chats, flies by.
Yeah.
Who else was on with him?
That's true.
Matt
Universal.
was
Nice.
on. Yeah, John came in with his mum. John showed his mum.
Awesome.
Jesse was on.
I'll watch it later.
Yeah.
That's the thing about usual. I'm the same as Brandon. It's just too early in the morning for us, so we just catch the replay later on.
I'm dressed. I've got my hoodie on. What's your problem?
As long as shoulders and up is good.
Yeah. Well, I've got my pajama bottoms on, but
Right.
what is the point?
Right. Yeah. All right. So, if you guys don't mind, I will crack into some of these. If you guys want to talk about, I don't know, Mark, if you want to talk about what you've had going on. I watched one of your videos of the TIE Interceptor earlier today.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reviews, and they don't do too well. My hauls do really well, but my review videos aren't doing that well. So if you want to check my channel out and check my reviews, please do. So I've got a couple more to do because I've got the auction tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
And if anybody has
your time or 5 o'clock our time.
5 o'clock my time, so it's
Right.
12 o'clock
12 o'clock.
Eastern. I've got a lot of videos that came. I'll put a video up later on, and it'll show you what came yesterday. I've got my canopy, and I completed my Death Star.
Nice.
That was I've just got so much stuff down here that I need to list and get it sorted for the auction tomorrow.
Busy night for you, mate. Busy night.
Yeah. If anybody hasn't checked those auctions out, they're awesome. Even just to see what he's got for sale.
Have you not you posted yet? No.
No, not yet.
No.
I don't know what it is about living up here. It just seems like it takes forever for stuff to get here.
Oh, it's everywhere, mate.
True.
I ordered. John Super Austin Geek Show ordered me vintage 12-inch layer. I gave him the money for it, but he wouldn't. The seller wouldn't post it to the UK. So John got it for me.
Oh, nice.
He posted it for a week, but still hasn't turned up. I'm so looking forward to getting that. Get on my layer shelf.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Shabby? You get anything?
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, I've got boxes behind me. Look, loads of them. I've got a few more coming today, so I'm going to make a few videos out of them. So I won a prize off Forces of Light, so that's here.
Ooh,
So,
was that the Funko Pop?
No, I didn't win the Funko. I won the Black Series Baby Yoda, which I have, but I'm going to open this one. So then I've got an open one too. So
Nice.
and then John Ladpool sent us something. I've got Keith sent us something. Paul's Collectibles did. So I'll make a video of them all later on.
Yeah, John Lampole sent me a box today. A Skeletor, vintage Skeletor.
Morning,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Nicole.
Thank you all for checking it out.
Yeah, still morning for you, isn't it? It's in time for the unboxing, yeah.
It's going to take me 5 minutes just to open up these damn boxes.
Yeah, that's rookie mistake number one.
I should have put them all open.
Before the stream.
So who's this off, this box? The one you're opening?
I'm actually just cutting open all three of them, just real quick, and then I'll go box by box. I got one of them is a book. Let's see here. One's from GameStop.
Nice.
And then another one is from Jet's Toy Hut.
Jet's
Oh,
Yep.
vintage.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
One of the
Kept
things.
Brandon, eh? Look at this.
And then I didn't realize that the low gray was missing his little satchel, so I got a satchel cheap on eBay. So
Yeah, you can get those accessories free. That's probably the only Ewok you can get cheap.
Low grade, yeah. There's always low grades, isn't there? And cheap chirpers, always.
Yeah. Thanks, Timo. That's one of the poster sizes that they put in the movie theater displays, and the light would show behind it. It's I forget what size it is. So yeah.
Yeah,
I wait for my frames to come for my Red 5 posters. Yeah, there you go.
All
Toys everywhere, yeah.
Yep. This is the way.
All right. Should I start with? I'll finish with the Jet's Toy Hut. I'll start with the book, and so it's from Octavia Books, which is down in New Orleans, and that is the local bookstore for Claudia Gray. One of my followers on Twitter, because I have the special edition of Light of the Jedi with the different art that came with the socks and the pin, and that was signed by Charles Soule, and I wanted to get all of the signed copies of the High Republic authors, so I got Into the Dark,
signed by Claudia Gray. Oh,
signed by Claudia Gray. So Octavia Books. It was awesome. You just
so jealous.
Yeah. So may the force be with you always. To Brandon.
Nice, Brandon.
Yep. So you could put in an order, and it was just, tell us what you want the signed copy to say, and it was the retail price. So it was absolutely awesome. And then it came with, not quite sure what it is yet, but it came with one of these. So I didn't even know that was coming in the box with it. But
what's your favorite Claudia Gray book? Star Wars.
It's hard to not say Into the Dark because I loved it, and it's hard to not say Lost Stars. But
I still think Bloodline's my favorite.
Oh, Lost Stars.
There we go.
Lost Stars.
But it's Master and Apprentice for me because
that's my last one. That's my least one. Yeah. Isn't that funny that?
And part of it is because Qui-Gon's my favorite character.
Right.
So going into his character more, his relationship with Obi-Wan, his relationship with Dooku and Rael Everos was absolutely amazing. I could barely set that book down, but I did enjoy Lost Stars. Lost Stars was the first.
Oh, Lost Stars is a classic. It's a great book.
Best Star Wars book ever.
But I just think, Lost Stars is good, but it's an easy read. Bloodline, I think, is a lot more complex, and it's got a lot more Star Wars in Bloodline. What happens to Leia and how they come across, how they find, well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
You've got to be a proper Star Wars fan to read it, haven't you? To understand.
Bloodline is just ridiculous.
Lost Stars, anybody can jump into Lost Stars. If you have not seen Star Wars.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lost Stars is good. It'll start from, obviously, before A New Hope and ends at The Force Awakens. So it's a great book for that. But to me, it just reminds me of Romeo and Juliet in Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? It's a great story, but the way they keep crossing paths and going up like that.
It's something that could actually become a movie.
Yeah.
Lost Stars is...
Hey, Andy.
But Bloodline, to me, although Leia, Princess of Alderaan was a great book, Holdo in that book was fantastic character. So when I found out she was in The Last Jedi, I thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. And she was nothing like what she was like in the book. Absolutely nothing like
two different characters. I thought, is it the same? Supposed to be the same person? Because
it was funny that it was totally different.
Yeah.
Morning, Red 5.
So the first Claudia Gray book I read was Leia, Princess of Alderaan. I didn't read Bloodline. I I have recently started it. Got through like the first chapter or so. But
I've got a poster for that book.
Yeah.
Double-sided poster.
Oh,
really?
really?
It says Traitor on it. It's brilliant. The poster.
Yeah, I got it at Celebration.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Great book, yeah.
I got Lost Stars, and I breezed through that. It was awesome. And then Master and Apprentice. I could not believe how good that was.
Yeah. That's something you've got to really listen to, though, isn't it? It's like a audio drama more than a novel. Oh, wow.
It lights up. So
Light of the Jedi.
Oh, geez. Don't want to give anybody a seizure. But yeah, Light of
the Jedi.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even know that was coming. So that's I'm really happy with that purchase. And I think it was $17.99, and then it shipped for free. And
for it to be signed as well, though.
I know. I'm gonna show it again.
I'm blown away by that.
Show it again, just so people can catch it. May the Force be with you always. Which to Brandon from Cloudy Gray.
She's a fantastic addition to the Star Wars book. She really is.
Yeah.
I think Christy Golden definitely is. Delilah Lawson is definitely. All these women that are writing Star Wars books are doing a fantastic job. So.
The Bloodlines really helped fill up the hole between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Sure, that's exactly what I mean. Exactly what I mean. Yep.
Yeah, and that's why I love the Star Wars books. Is you watch the movies, but then, and I don't like to say that like being a super fan is better, but you get more reward from reading and watching everything, which is the case for
it flushes everything out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, one of the best books for that is Rebel Rising. It goes in at the start of I forgot what the film's called, Rogue One, where she goes into the tunnel outside, and then Saul Guerrero gets her. The book is based from there to when it picks up again.
That's book I've not read.
And it's so that part where she's talking to Saul Guerrero because you left me when I was 16, and it's actually in that book, and how he does it. And it's not as straightforward as she makes it out. You see his side as well. One of the best books I've read for Star Wars.
It's been on my list for a while.
It's a great book.
I read Catalyst before I went to see Rogue.
Catalyst is a great book.
And that is an excellent book.
I read Catalyst, but I must have missed Rebel Rising.
Yeah.
Rebel Rising.
It's more of a young adult novel, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's by the same Beth Revis like that. There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
It's a great read. Do you know what I mean? And again, with it being a young adult novel, straightforward, easy to pick up, no problem at all. So that's a great book.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and I'm doing something similar, Shabby, is I have started getting all of the canon Star Wars books. And I'm going to pick up some of my favorite of the EU/Legends too. I think those crossover, the zombie and the Death Trooper and Red Harvest, I think those are really cool, and I kind of want to read them. But obviously, I'm going to get the box set of Heir to the Empire, and then the books that come after that. And the Jedi.
Have you got any of this? Well, that's where I would start. I mean, the thing about it, if you're going to go back to Legends, Mark will contest to this. The stories are all over the place. Do you know what I mean? And if you actually have a timeline on the start of the Legends books, but no chance. It's this, that. So I would, if it was me and I would start back, I would go through every Zahn book, but in order, because they all tie in. Everyone talks. Like I told you this before. Everyone talks about the trilogy, but there's about 5 or 6 books that tie into that. So,
but the trilogy is important because it was the only thing we had back then.
Right. Yep. And
the trilogy that was based on
there
that.
Were no comics, no books. These books came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They were absolutely stunning. It was like a new trilogy. Basically.
And it was superb. Absolutely superb. Although, one of the things I share with Andy at Hollow Chronicles is Shadows of the Empire. If you've not read that book, you've got to get on that. That's just a a page turner. You just can't put it down. It's that good. So Steve Perry wrote it, and it's fantastic.
Noted. All right.
That was a big event in the day.
Yeah,
it was a game. It was a book. It was soundtrack.
Right. Comics.
Oh, it is everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I was 1 year old when that book came out. I was
Amazing.
1996. Sorry.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. And that's what I want to do is I want to go back and read some of those. Like I had the Jedi Academy book, like Jedi Search, the Kevin J. Anderson, some of those books on my bookshelf. I had the Dark Nest trilogy where those bugs came and threatened. I don't know if anybody had read those, but those were the ones that I read. I had the Heir to the Empire trilogy, the Zahn trilogy, on my bookshelf, but I never read it as a kid because it was just a little bit.
Do you have this one? Shadows of the Empire.
I do not.
Right, I've got two, I've just checked now while you were talking. I've got 2 copies. I'm sending you one.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
you're getting this off me. It's as a must, not as a gift, as a must read. So I've got 2 of these. One's on its way. Just send me your address after this, Brandon, and I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Shabby. That's awesome.
Have you got 3? Because I haven't got it.
I also like Star Wars Before the Awakening. I have not read that one either. 1000th. Finn is not a janitor. Yes, thank you.
No, he's not. No. It's a Stormtrooper first.
Yeah. Rereading Shadows currently. Way to make a brother feel old.
Not the original. I would like the first edition 1976 hardback of that.
I haven't got the hardback. I've got the first edition from them all, though.
Can you show that one a little bit closer there, Mark?
Yeah. It's £5 on it.
Wow.
I think that's from the shop, actually. I think I had it in the shop.
I had that one too. It was a little bit different color though.
Yeah.
Which one you had?
Got some pictures in as well if you're
okay. Yeah.
That's the first edition.
Okay, that's the one I have, Shabby.
And then there's that one.
This will be the UK version though. Yeah, it's UK version. Yeah, I've got that.
Mind Eye. Then Jedi.
That is one of my favourite original books. Splinters.
Awesome.
All first editions. I found them all. The only one I haven't got is Star Wars, if you will. But Splinters. Oh, yeah, we have. It's right there. What am I talking about? So, yeah, I've got them all.
And Andy makes a good point. There isn't anything in that contradicts anyone's story for Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
None.
Exactly.
And they've already used concepts from it, right? So it's...
Well, same with the Throne trilogy, really, if you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it is, Mark. You're right. Exactly right.
And that's how I feel about the Plagueis book, is that still fits so well with canon. The Darth Plagueis right before the Phantom Menace starts. That was a
lot of people want to keep that as canon because it doesn't, you know what I mean? There's nothing in it that
right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
The thing about The Man's Eye is it was going to be a TV movie if Star Wars failed.
Oh, wow.
So it's a legitimate story. And that's why Han Solo's not in it, because they want to going to get Harrison Ford for a TV show.
Good, Jackie. Thank you. Given how much Lucasfilm put into the marketing video game soundtrack, yeah.
Big event, massive event.
Timo, that is a purple BB-8 droid in the background. I made that at Galaxy's Edge. I had so much fun doing it too. I just had to.
Wow, how did he see that? He must have great eyes. Him on a huge screen. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I built a lightsaber and I built the droid.
I'd love to do that.
And if I had to go back, I would have gotten the legacy saber for Luke Skywalker, the green saber.
Yeah,
it's gotten
that's my
attachment. Yeah,
it's the only one I ever wanted. You know what I mean? And I got it. So
I know it's Vader's.
So, all right. Now that we've done some talking on some books, I will do what I got from GameStop next. I think, yeah. And I believe there's 3 figures.
Almost.
And it's the Gaming Greats Shadow Trooper.
Ooh. I don't like that.
Yeah, the translucent, like, see-through middle.
Yeah.
awesome.
I'll be making a video with these, and I love doing those shorts, so I'll find some funny song to put that to as well. Next up is the Gaming Greats Scout Trooper from Fallen Order.
Nice.
I still don't have that one. I don't have that one yet.
Have you not got that? Oh
No.
Yeah, I love these boxes too. The Gaming Greats ones. They just look so great. Gaming Greats.
Well, they're turning now as well. They're going into the new style boxes as well now.
Yeah, do you think we're going to see Starkiller soon?
I hope so. What a
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Oh, I hope so.
It's
I
got
really
to
do.
be. It's the figure that they should have brought the Gaming Greats. Should have begun with Starkiller.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, I agree.
And then last from GameStop is the yeah. And it looks like they taped it up before they even sent it because it's separated. So
are you taking it out of the box though, or are you leaving it?
I take everything out, so it doesn't necessarily bother me. But I understand. Yeah, I know, Mark. I totally understand. And like Salacious Rum during the 3 Man and a Monkey Lizard last night, he was saying that he got the Lando on that card back, and the guy was putting it in the box, and it was just folding the card over, and he was like, "Man, what are you doing?" Yeah. And he opened it in front of him and showed him what he did, and so he said he got another one, so he's gonna just open that one. But it is frustrating when you get something like that. My those X-wing, the TIE pilot and the X-wing pilot posters that I got, that came in a roll, and the roll was battered up, and I opened it, and I was opening it, I was just hoping that the posters were okay, and there's a little crease on the poster, but you can't tell because of the TIE pilot's face. So I was like, I'm not going to send it back. It's not the guy's fault. But I did send him an email saying, hey, like, I don't know if you need to put it in a more secure thing or if USPS just needs to be more careful. But
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got from GameStop. I'm going to put this next to, I've also got Hoth, Han, and Hoth Leia on the way, and I've got the Hoth Luke Skywalker. So
that Hoth Leia is amazing figure.
Put them next to it. So that's the GameStop, and then I got the book, and then the Scout Trooper and the Shadow Trooper, and then this is the last thing is from Jet's Toy Hut, and John from Super Awesome Geek Show actually suggested, Fallen Order is a nice game, suggested Jet's Toy Hut during one of the streams, and he said it's really cool because they send you a vintage card.
Hey, it's more to come.
We got to just move him around the screen so he doesn't burn into the same place.
Yeah. I've just been sat here all day. Don't worry about me.
Bring me the Wookiee. Play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this
is the card that it sent with.
Oh, nice. Oh, John will be a bit jealous of that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So far I've got C-3PO before the Tusken Raider attack. And then
I love that.
Sitting with George.
Yeah.
And then now Yoda. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've been really, really happy with the cards that I've been sent with these. So from Jet's Toy Hut, they don't just have the vintage stuff. They've got figures. They've got Power of the Force. They've got the vintage from each movie. They've got, honestly, check out the site. It's pretty cool. Some of the deals are pretty awesome. And I put an order in at like 9:30 for my first one when I got the, I'm trying to think. I got the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Han Solo, and 9:35 it sent the email confirmation saying it's been shipped, like it's been put in the box.
Nice.
And it's I sent him a message saying like, thank you. That's
customer service.
Yeah. I've this is like the third or fourth order I put into him, and he's a collector, and he packages everything super well. With a whole bunch of packing peanuts, and the boxes taped up really well. So any Minnesota gets wet and they don't treat the boxes right, and sometimes they just set them on the porch where snow and melting can get into it. But so I got 2 Black Series figures from Jet's Toy Hut, and then I got a vintage figure, and I got the Solo Lando.
I like that figure. I know I got a lot of flack, but I like it.
I thought they did
some photos of him.
Yeah, I thought they did a wonderful job with the young Han and young Lando in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he was put in a bad position, right? I mean, Alden Ehrenreich, like he was.
Yeah,
they were like, he's not going to be on Solo. And I thought he did a great job.
Follow in it.
Yeah, and I like that he wasn't trying to be Harrison Ford's Han. He had some of the mannerisms and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've always said on the Pally Boys, to me, I don't care who plays them. It's not about the actors; it's about the characters.
Character,
you know what I mean? That's all it matters to me. So I thought he did a good job. It's a good film.
As long as you don't change the character.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, keep the character as it is.
Yep, I like Solo.
This Nicole that's on here, is she the lady that was on Forces of Light on the movie thing? Was she on that?
Yes, she was. Yes.
Oh, yeah, she was really good on it. I enjoyed that. So well done, Nicole.
And
I enjoyed that.
I agree with 1000th Ghost here. I didn't go see Solo when it came out in the theaters. I was just finishing up college. It was finals week, and all I was seeing was negative stuff for the movie. With all
I loved it.
Yeah, and so I really, really regret it that that's the only Star Wars movie that I have not gone and seen in the theaters, because it was such a fun movie. And the first time I watched it, I was like, that would have been so cool to sit there in the theater. And
that is the only movie I've not seen at the cinema.
Yeah,
it's a good one. I like it. It's, the story's there. It feels like Star Wars. It's got the fun in it. It's got the family stuff. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then next is to go with it. Right next to it,
there you go.
Alden, and each one of these was like $11 or $12.
Yeah, the Soul ones are cheap. So, get Jayden Voss's. I think he's about $9 on Amazon. That's it.
Yeah.
What's Kira?
I want to get Kira.
Kira's a good one.
Yeah. I love that movie. I'm a big supporter of Make Solo 2 happen, and the people at Resistance broadcast with that. I love when they had Jonas Suotamo on, who played Chewbacca, and he's such a fan of Star Wars, and it was awesome to hear them talk about it. And I've got the Make Solo 2 pin happen, or Make Solo 2 happen pin from when they did the watch along on Resistance broadcast. So, and I don't really care if it's a Disney Plus series, a movie.
I think it's more likely to be a series, isn't it? Than a movie.
And if they have episodes that focus on different things from it, because like I want to see Maul and Kira, I want to see more Lando, and I want to see Han and Chewie going to Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it, and John Hoey from the Resistance broadcast is like, they just remade the set for Jabba's palace because of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
If you're going to use those assets, use them, and how cool would it be? Solo ended with them saying there's a big time gangster with a job.
So we're getting the Lando series, aren't we? So maybe it might be involved with that.
Yeah. And
the Lando series,
something that concerned me was they just announced Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? The one who did the voice of L3. Yeah. So they're doing a series together, and it's like, well, those are two characters that would show up in something like that. So it's like if the production doesn't line up, and obviously they just announced it, but
all right,
that was something I was worried about.
Mm.
Yeah. Nicole is the peace loving Star Wars.
Thanks, Nicole.
We say more. Wears very thin very quickly. I don't mean it. I don't mean it.
That might be, it might be compromise.
Yeah.
I loved seeing Chewbacca and Han Solo in Solo. I know some people were upset about how it changed the origin of how they met and some of their relationship stuff, but it was a fun, simple way to do it. And Solo is such a fun movie. And
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it changed. I mean, you've now got your canon law, you've now got your legends law.
Really, though.
I wouldn't say it changed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just two different things. That's it.
I mean, Han was supposed to be in Revenge of the Sith, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
I'm glad that they cut that out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that leads me to the vintage that I got.
Kitty
Yes.
space now, smiling away.
Yes.
And this is my first Ewok from vintage. And I'm not going to say I'm sad that it's not Wicket, but I'm just happy that I got it. So it's low grade, and it even
Great
sent him.
figure. Yeah.
Sent him in one of the little cases.
Well, we got Chief Chirper first, and then we got Low Grey.
What was that?
We got Chief Chirper first, then we
Okay.
got Low Grey, and those were the two blacked out Ewoks.
Blacked out
Okay.
Ewok. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing. Oh, are you kidding me? The satchel is there,
Oh, it is there.
so I've got an extra satchel on the way.
You've got a spare one.
Keep it. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep your extras.
Everything looks like it's.
Somebody will want it one day. You'll be able to swap it for something else
Yeah.
that you need.
Or if somebody is missing it, I'd.
Yeah.
Gladly
There you
help
go.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
I did it. I sent Mark the squid head belt because I had a spare one. So yeah, always keep your spares. You never know what might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It honestly looks great.
Yes. What's the COO on the leg? Is it Macau or Taiwan? I bet it's Macau.
It looks like Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's interesting because
Usual.
It's H.K.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Okay.
Usually Macau.
Okay.
Or you can find Lily Ledy ones actually quite easily. It's one Lily Ledy you can find quite easily.
And I watched a video on explaining some of those differences because I didn't know what the Lily Ledy was until I heard some. I'm trying to think who I heard. Yeah, Mexico. But I am on the look for a Wicket, but I'm really glad that I have at least one of the Ewoks on my
Wicket
shelf now.
is the best Ewok.
Yeah.
It's so tiny as well. I've not got the spear for mine, fortunately.
I'll show you what they all look like together. Do you want to see?
Yes, I do, Chevy.
I'll show you what they all look like.
In the cabinet there.
Dave. Yeah. Definitely Dave.
With the Scout Walker and the speeder bike.
Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I love him. I've always been a fan of the Ewoks. I just like him. I like the Ewok village. I liked him in the movie. You know, I know they get a lot of flack for taking down the Empire, but they didn't take down the Empire. They just took down a couple of garrisons that were down there. Yeah. And it's their world. They probably know every trick in the book. Do you know what I mean? So I was always one of them that.
Well,
that
do you know what
it,
it was meant to be about?
Yeah. I just thought it was great. I loved the Ewoks. What a great idea. It just, and another thing, it just goes to show it doesn't matter your size, doesn't matter how big you are, you know. If you know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously from my channel name, you can tell I adore the Ewoks, and
yeah.
I bring it up. I always bring it up in case somebody hasn't heard. But when I was little, I went Halloween. I went as Wicket for Halloween. My mom had a little Halloween costume made for me, an Ewok with the black nose and the face paint and a little
that's awesome
headdress and stuff. So
need to see that.
Yeah. So
I have my sister-in-law is the manager of a Build-A-Bear in England, and she sent me the limited edition wicket down there. Have you ever seen it? Do you want me to show it? Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah.
You name anything, he's got it there.
Yeah.
Anything. All the old murder bears. Now the last 17 murder bears are really expensive now. You could usually get them for £50, and now they're going for like £200.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's their Build-A-Bear one. I think it's from, well, it was last year or the year before. And then I was in a thrift shop and I showed the lads on the Pally Boys. This is the 1983 Paplu.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it's in Mac. I couldn't believe it. It was just sat there in a box in a thrift shop, and I knew exactly what it was.
Oh.
And the guy wanted $5. $5, that's it. So I went, oh, okay. I'll pay that. No.
Yes, 10.
Yeah.
I got this book from my family for Christmas, and
Awesome.
I absolutely love it. So
Awesome.
I've been looking through a couple of those pages every day, and it's so fun.
It's canon that Ewok's going to eat the choppers. That we're going to eat Han Solo, weren't they?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Someone had put a painting up on Instagram yesterday about him carrying a biker scout 2 Ewoks. I think it was done with the actual Black Series figures. It was fantastic.
Well, they're drumming the helmets at the end, aren't they? So
yeah.
Where have you got those from?
Yeah. One of my screensavers that I've got rotating on my dual displays is Darth Vader with his lightsaber, and it's 2 Ewoks, and he's roasting them over a fire.
Oh,
it's animated, and it's not. It's cute, but it's yeah.
I was watching the reaction to somebody watching Revenge of the Sith yesterday, and when they got to the kiddie bit, they were like in shock.
Oh yeah. So when that little lad moves in it like that, you think, oh no, do you know what I mean? It gets you every time.
Master Skywalker. What shall we do?
Yeah. I think that's my 8-year-old son's favourite Star Wars movie. He always watches that. He loves it for some reason. So, yeah, he just sticks with Revenge of the Sith.
Well, it's non-stop action. No, it's like Attack of the Clones. There's a lot of lovey-dovey, and it's long drawn out at the beginning and blah blah blah. But Revenge of the Sith, it's just action all the way through.
Yeah.
It's non-stop.
I showed him the Galaxy of Adventures short, where it shows Anakin and Obi-Wan going all the way through. And at the end, It ends with Revenge of the Sith. And he loved it. And he's watched that about 10 times. I thought, well, I'll put the movie on for him. And he's hooked.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Love it. Yep. Somebody earlier asked what my favorite Star Wars movie is, and we'll ask you guys too. But mine's Empire Strikes Back. And I know that seems like an easy one.
It's the best movie.
It is, and it's one that I go back to all the time when I watch it. The scenes on Dagobah are, it's hard to say that they're underrated, but when it comes to the series, the saga, those are some of the most important scenes.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Shabby, go. You want to tell them what?
It's funny because my favorite scene, the most pivotal scene of all Star Wars to me, just my opinion, is in Return of the Jedi. But my favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back. It's just a masterpiece. It's calm at the start, the way you get into it, the build up.
Yeah.
It's something else, isn't it? I mean, I think the reason why the majority of people say Empire Strikes Back, because it is that good. I don't think they're just saying it to be in the trend. It's just a great Star Wars movie.
Back in the day, Star Wars came out and everybody loved it. You know, and then there was another coming out and thought, oh, well, it's not going to be as good. And it was better.
Yeah,
so I think that's why people
good.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, Mark.
Yeah.
And that opening of all of the Hoth stuff, it gets me hooked every time. With the Wampa and the probe droid, and then the Battle of Hoth, and then the escape and Vader coming onto Echo Base. What a great way to start a movie.
The book Twilight Company does brilliantly in that. It does the Battle of Hoth, and it does Vader actually coming in. And they've all been defeated, the rebel soldiers, and they're half unconscious on the floor. And one of them opens his eyes and sees him walking it It's one of the best chapters in the Star Wars book I've ever read. It's superb.
Always be Return of the Jedi. I know it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have to be. That's the thing. Is it's what's your favorite movie?
Mine's Return of the Jedi. That's my favorite one, Return of the Jedi, because it means more. Because I remember going to. I mean, I went to see Star Wars. Went to see Empire Strikes Back. I've seen them all at cinema, except for Solo.
Yeah.
But I remember Return of the Jedi more because I was waiting for it more. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's funny because, like I say, my favourite character is Return of the Jedi Luke. Jedi Knight, Blackout, everyone knows that, who knows.
Oh, yeah.
But my favourite scene is all Star Wars is Luke and Vader on Endor when they're talking just before they meet the Emperor. To me, I've watched that scene thousands of times. I absolutely love that scene. So
absolutely
funny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's because you didn't know who Vader was then. Nobody knew who Vader was. It was just this man. We didn't know if he were a man, basically, until Empire Strikes Back and saw his back of his head. And it fleshed out more of his character, didn't it, when he's talking with Luke?
Sure did. Mm-hmm. Well, you saw his human side in that scene. You know, before then, you've heard him say he was his father, but you've seen him kill people, you've seen the point, you've seen the talk. You've never seen him
having a conversation with Luke.
Exactly. And it's so funny how that helmet is so motionless, but you can see so much emotion in it, in that scene. Yeah. Love it so much.
Yeah. And I believe Return of the Jedi is the film I watched the most, which is why I was an Ewok for Halloween. And I mean, the Ewoks, it was, they're movies for kids, and they did a great job. I thought the Ewoks, Porgs, Jar Jar, a lot of people don't like Jar Jar, but Jar Jar is one of my favorite Black Series figures, right behind Darth Vader, which is one of my favorite.
Darth Vader figure, yeah.
Darth Vader figure is something else. Yeah. Something else.
My favorite Black Series.
Yeah. And so when I go through, I absolutely agreed with you, Shabby, when it came to when you were on Forces of Light, when you were talking about the favorite movies in each trilogy. And Empire Strikes Back is my favorite in the originals. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite in the prequels, which is funny because, people are like, it's not episode 1 for you. And it's like, that was the first movie I went to the theater in, was Phantom Menace. But I was a little bit older. I was 10 when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I was so excited. I still remember hearing the drum beats when that space battle starts, and playing the Revenge of the Sith video games and Star Wars Battlefront, the original Battlefront 2 and all that stuff. So I was a little bit older, so I appreciated it more. I don't remember going to see Phantom Menace in the theaters. I remember seeing Attack of the Clones with the clone troopers and everything. But Revenge of the Sith is the one that I remember the most. So that movie is just awesome. I just watched it with my mom when it came on TNT the other night. And
the funniest thing is the Phantom Menace is one of my favorite cinema experiences. It's one of my favorite, and it's because Star Wars was back, but it was also I'd arrived in America at that time, and I went to see it in New Hampshire. So we British are a bit more reserved in the cinema. We're not as we don't cheer and clap. So when I went there, and these kids all sat around me on the floor, the place is packed, and everyone's cheering, and I loved it. I thought, what an experience! That and obviously The Force Awakens. Regardless of what you think of the sequel trilogy or not, you can't take away what the Star Wars hype was around that movie. It was, but the experience of. So it's funny, they're my two big cinema experiences: Phantom Menace, Force Awakens.
And Return of the Jedi's got the best vehicles.
Oh, Return of the Jedi! I mean,
shuttle.
Yep,
you've got the TIE Interceptor. You've got the speeder bikes.
Yeah. Everybody wants a speeder bike, and that doesn't age. I mean, you're in your 20s, Brandon. We're in our 40s, and we still want a bloody speeder bike. Do you know what I mean? It never goes away. That so.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Timo asked what my favorite lightsaber color is, and I have to go with purple. That's why I did my BB-8 in purple. When I went to Galaxy's Edge and built the saber, I knew that people would want to get the purple, so I chose a green blade because I love Yoda and Luke and Qui-Gon. But I knew green would be available for me to pick that color. So when they came around, I grabbed the green crystal and did that. And then I went immediately after building my lightsaber, I went in and I bought all the saber colors. So I did a TikTok and like a YouTube short of me igniting all the different Galaxy's Edge Kyber colors, because they each make a different sound and they each do a different ignition animation. So
yeah,
it's really cool. So if you guys want to chime in what your favorite colors are.
There's only one color, the green. It's just the way that green stands up on end of Return of the Jedi, going back to that green against that dark throne room. It's just, as a kid, I was blown away by it. But Mark will tell you, I remember all the trailers and so forth with a blue lightsaber, and it's only till you went to see the film, he turns up with a green one. So, it's, I love that green saber.
You had to change it because it was clashing against the sky.
Right.
Yeah, you couldn't see it, yeah.
But my favourite colour, yellow.
Yellow, is it? Because of the figure, because of the toy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's more the best spin look, but yeah, yellow. And then when Ray comes with it at the end, yes.
Ray's saber at the end is, although I like Leia's hilt. Leia's hilt was something
that was really beautiful.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, if I had the money, I'd have all of like Saberforge, all of their sabers on a display on my wall. Those NeoPixel blades where they can change to any color and you can change the sound fonts. Yeah. Those are absolutely amazing. But
Revan's does that, doesn't it? Changes the colors and so forth.
Yeah,
I love him. I absolutely love him. But to me, it's like I said, I only wanted the one, and I got it. Which was the Return of the Jedi Luke's, and I absolutely love that saber. So
I've been thinking about it, and when it comes to the cost, for anybody who's thinking about those sabers, the Disney sabers get knocked on because the quality of the blade when it comes to the lighting and stuff like that, and the sound, because it's not pure swing. But the hilt design of them are absolutely beautiful. Like if you're going for a display, or even just want to light it up and just play with it every once in a while, those Disney sabers for like $130 are perfect. You don't have to pay $700 for those NeoPixel blades that look crazy and have all the different sound fonts if you're just going to put it on the shelf. So if anybody lives in California or Florida and wants to message me and go pick me up a Luke Skywalker saber, I will gladly PayPal you the money if you send it to me, because I am sad that I missed out. And a big thing was I flew to California. I got the stuff and then I paid to have it shipped. Well, for my droid and my lightsaber, it was almost $100 just to have those things shipped.
Right,
so if I was going to get the Legacy saber container and the saber, it was probably going to be an extra $40 to ship that. So $140 plus the extra $130 for the saber itself. It was adding up real quick, and I still spent more than I should have, but it was the experience. Like, it's the best experience I've had as a Star Wars fan so far. Yeah. And I went on, or I didn't go on, but I was in they were talking about, I don't remember where it is now actually, but they were talking about Rey, and one of my favorite things that I've experienced as a Star Wars fan is being at Galaxy's Edge, and this little girl fell down and skinned her hand when she was going down the stairs. And the actress who was playing Rey for Batu walked over, helped pick her up, brought her over to the water fountain, was talking to her the whole time, helped her wash out her hands, got one of the people at the park to bring over bandages, and then walked her back to her parents and sat there and talked to her. And then Chewbacca came over and gave her a hug. And like, I'm sitting there and I'm almost crying. Like I was sitting there eating a Ronto wrap watching this, and I was just like, that was a really cool moment that I just witnessed. And this little girl was just in awe of Rey. And I was, it was pretty awesome. But if anybody ever gets the chance to go to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland or Disney World, it is amazing. And I know some people think it's too small, or that it's, it is absolutely awesome. I don't know.
I think to us older blokes as well. If we saw that Falcon, I think we'd all. I don't know what I'd do. I mean, that.
I know what you do.
I just. Listen, they could have done better with the park. They could have done good, whatever. I'm not bothered about that.
Right.
If you go there and you see that falcon, to me, I think my head would explode. It really would. I don't know what to do. They probably throw me out.
Yeah, and I've heard that if you get on the plane at LAX with a lightsaber, they're pretty chill about it. Like,
well, yes,
yeah. So I don't know. Have either of you been able to go to Galaxies? I know.
I've not fancied it, to be honest. I don't know. I think personally, to me, and John, I've talked to Super Awesome Geek Show about this because he's Florida and he's been a few times and he absolutely loves it. And he's told me, Mark, the hardest thing for me is to say that I've never been. So it's easy for me to sit and say I'm not really that bothered and so forth. But if I went there and it was, if I probably went there, I'd probably absolutely love it. But it's somewhere I'm not really, unless something comes up for me to go, I'm not really that bothered about it, to be honest.
I'll only go if it's open in Paris.
Okay. That, yeah. It's not somewhere I'm destined to go. I think it's because, again, it's when it came out and you saw it and then you realise, hang on, there's not that much there to do. It's just basically a gift shop, with 2 rides. So it kind of put me off. But then as you hear about it more and more, I was like, no, there's a lot more than that, Shabby, and there's this and that. Maybe one day I will, but I'm only around the corner from Florida. It's not as if I'm miles away.
Right. And, that was the thing was... people were saying it was too small and it was too hard to get on Rise of Resistance and stuff. I went the first weekend of March last year, a week before, 5 days before the park shut down.
Wow.
The timing was absolutely perfect. It looked like it was business as usual, but I was worried that I was gonna run out of stuff to do. But because I went by myself, it was my first vacation that I had ever gone on. I flew to Los Angeles by myself from Minnesota. I got a bed and breakfast in Anaheim. I got Ubers and Lyfts everywhere, and it was so much fun. I spent 22 hours at the park in 2 days.
Wow.
Yep. I walked over 25 miles while I was there. I was able to get on Rise of Resistance Sunday when I went. Some people helped me. They were just like, you're from Minnesota and you've never been here. And they were giving me the tips of how to go and how to get on stuff. And I was able to get on, I was like boarding group 50 something for Rise of Resistance. And that didn't even, it was 4.5 hours before I even got on the ride. But the queue line, they've got all of these props lined up and they've got the blasters and X-Wing suits and all of Resistance based stuff, and you're sitting there walking through this queue and you're in line for about a half an hour and you don't even realize that the time's gone by because you're looking at all the stuff. They've got thermal detonators, all the canisters, and that was the coolest thing to me was everything was weathered, everything was in Arabesh. Like, it was absolutely amazing. I walked through and it was like, I know I'm in California right now. I know I'm at Disneyland because I just walked through it, but I feel like I'm on a Star Wars planet.
Oh, that's it.
And it was absolutely amazing. It was like 72 degrees and sunny both days that I went. I didn't get sunburn, which is awesome because usually I do because I'm super fair skinned. But it was absolutely amazing. And because I was a single rider, I got to go on the rides more than people who had to wait in groups. So I went on the Smuggler's Run ride a dozen times. And I never got to be a pilot for it, but I got to be the engineer and the gunner. And just being in there with a couple times I was in there with a family where they only had 4 or 5 people and they let the kids be the pilots. And some people were like, oh, like they didn't want their experience ruined by like a kid driving. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Think about them. Like
exactly the same way.
This experience is for them. So I just sat there and I tapped the buttons that I was supposed to. And if somebody was having a hard time, I was just like, I've ridden this a couple times. Like if you don't know what you're doing, like, and they were just like, do I have to do this? And I was like, yeah, go. But it was super fun. And a couple times that I sat there and ate, people sat down next to me and they were just like, are you here alone? And I was like, yep, I just went on a vacation. And a couple times I had like a half an hour, 40-minute conversation with somebody who lived halfway across the country from me that they go there, once a week. And
yeah, some people do, don't they? They live in the place.
Yeah, they live there. And
it's like being a celebration. When you go to Star Wars Celebration, when you're in queues, you're queuing for most of the time. But when you're in queues, you're talking to another Star Wars fan. And you just...
That's what you see. I never look at it like that. I'm glad you said that, Mark, because I'm one of those people. I have no patience. I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Really?
But then when you hear like what Brandon's just said, queuing up at there, and there's loads of things to see and do. You talking around talking to others. I don't think I'm the guy that's like, come on, hurry up. You know what I mean?
I went to Celebration in 2016, and I never went to any of the panels. I never went to anything, and all I did was look in the shops. And I did that for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Because you're with other people of your kind, shall I say? It was just amazing, and I had to buy an extra suitcase. I had to go to the room and get an extra suitcase because of the stuff I bought that weekend.
Wow!
I can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah. I am saving up. I am planning to go 2022 if I'm able to get tickets.
Well, I'm thinking about that now. The simple reason is to have met for the past year. See, now before, I've always been a solo collector. I'm not really in many groups. I've always collected since I was a kid. You've seen my videos. You've seen but now I've met people. If them people were going to it, I would definitely go. It gives me a reason to go now. Right. You see what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. And all the different communities, the podcasting, the Twitter people, and then, I just recently got into the toy stuff. And if I see you guys
that's the best one.
I think
it is.
I think the biggest thing is after the time that we've had with everything that's happened, this has got to be, it's got to be the big reward. Well,
we grew a flower out of it. That's what it basically was. We took a negative thing and grew from that, and that's what life's all about to me. You take your negatives, you turn it into positives. That's what we've all done. Every one of us has done that. So,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
he just sits there and people send things to him.
It's just the generosity of this community,
So you can't find anything, but everybody gets it for himself.
I've said it on our live streams. Out of all this, out of making the videos, out of meeting people, out of talking about Star Wars, out of this, the generosity and the kindness, not just necessarily sending you stuff, watching your videos, commenting, becoming your friend, supporting you. It's just one of we are very, very lucky. You go into other people's communities and the negativity and the bitchiness, and we just don't get any of that. And it does take you. It blows you away with, you're right. I mean, there's boxes, like I said, behind me, but these people are taking time out of their lives to watch your video, to comment, to listen to what you've said, and to send you something. It
blows you away.
Mark, it blows you away. I mean, I've been doing, this is my 7th month now doing YouTube and Twitter and so forth. And wow, I just can't believe the people I've met. That's the best thing if it ended tomorrow, the best thing that came out of all this is the people I've met. It's just amazing to me,
Absolutely. Well, and Nigel in one of your last streams was saying like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing like a YouTube thing to show off my collection, but I don't want to deal with the haters. And I sent him a message saying, just do it. And then he messaged me on Instagram saying, thank you for the positive thing. And I was just like, I honestly don't care if I get dislikes. I don't care about negative comments. It's like, 1, you can delete those. 2, you can turn the comments off on your videos if you want to, so people can just see what you've got. But it really doesn't matter. Like,
no, it does to me. No, I'm so pathetic.
Last night's stream. At one point, we have 57 likes and 9 dislikes. Then it went to 59 likes and down to 7 likes. And I looked today, it's still at 7 likes, but it's gone up to 66 likes.
Yeah.
Dislikes. Yeah. I mean, so.
See, Nigel reminds me of me because Nigel, if you don't know, he's making a Death Trooper helmet, and unbelievable.
Oh, really?
He put a picture up on Twitter because he's just he asked me what it was because it was all in pieces, and I went, I don't know, is it a vacuum cleaner? But now he's put it together and he's sanded it all. Oh, what a talent he's got!
Awesome.
What I mean, I think he's the same as me, where he's one of those quiet collectors. Like, kind of keeps himself to himself, and then all of a sudden he's entered this lot. Do you see what I mean? And now he's starting to come out and share his stuff. So I'd love him to do something like that. Yeah,
that's awesome. With our community, we all collect different things.
Yeah,
we all collect differently. Some like repro, some don't like repro. I don't collect repro. I'm not going to say to anybody don't buy repro because you collect the way you want. You like Star Wars the way you want. If you like the sequels, the prequels, the OG, just like it the way you want. There's no room in our community for arguments or negativity.
No reason to argue at all. Exactly right. And you always find something of somebody else. You know, I mean, I collect the toys, I collect the books. So you can always find someone to talk to the books about. But there's also people out there that don't collect the books that want to know about them. You know, that's the thing. So many people, you go to Mark for vintage. The amount of times I've said to Mark, and I asked him, well, tell me about this card, or tell me about this year, or tell me, and you're learning from your fellow collectors. You know what I mean? There's no big-headedness like I know it, you don't. Everyone's helping each other. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
I love learning though. I love learning.
Yeah, and one of the big things was I was scared, Mark, when I messaged you because I was just like, this guy's going to think I'm an absolute idiot because I don't know anything about this.
He would never do that, would you? He wouldn't.
No, I know he is.
I know better now. But I've learned so much from the guys from the Holo Chronicles, and they've been so kind.
Definitely.
The Funko Pops that I've got down there, all the Mandalorians, Andy gave me a super great price on it and shipped it to me and stuff like that. And
we all help each other.
Yeah,
that's the thing about helping each other. Everyone in each other's live streams doing it. You go into the Holo Chronicles live stream, and it's people you know. You go into Salacious's and Dude's Nerdery's live stream, it's people you know. You come into the Palabush, you come to Brandon's. So that's the thing. Everyone knows each other. So that's the best part of it. When you walk in, it's not like you're a single person. I a first-time caller, that kind of. Everyone knows each other. But if you do get somebody new in, we all welcome. Welcome to this. You know, that's why I love it so much.
The amount of people that have come into our stream and they've grown since coming in and getting the subs, and everybody subs to them, and I just love it. I just love it. It's just so positive.
I agree.
Well, and I'm going to bring this up. Sleeping Collectibles, when I go to his streams, everybody, they post each other's links. Everybody subscribes to each other. Yeah. He's grown a really great community, and his interests are so different. And like, I grew up watching wrestling and stuff, but I haven't watched it for probably 10 years. So when I see him talk about wrestling, it's really cool because he talks about figures of characters that I had growing up or that I watched.
For me, I started watching it for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. See, that's the only issue. Is sometimes it's people's time zones. For example, when sleeping's on, the lads in England are fast asleep. It's really early in the morning.
Yeah.
When Mike's on,
that's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah, most of those American lads are fast asleep. I'd love to go on Mike's live stream. I'd love to go. Yeah. Like you said, Brandon, before, it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for us. Yeah. If he does a late one, it's fantastic. But I always catch him on replay.
I always miss Beyond the Blast Doors because it's all
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. And it takes a lot for me to stay up there. Getting old.
Timo, I've never had anybody ask me that, but I'll make a little banner and have it scroll.
Just don't show your address on screen.
Oh, really?
Private message. Yeah.
Private message him.
Never mind.
You're just about to do that then.
We said everything's positive and everybody loves each other, but there are some.
Yeah. This is my address. This is my social security number. This is what I do at the weekend. I'll
message you. I'll message you, Timo.
Good luck.
Thank you. Crew piled me back into the WWE, and that was I went to a SmackDown show, and I got to see Rey Mysterio wrestle against the Great Khali, and it was, it's and people can say what they want about the WWE, about how it's fake and the writing is obviously gone, but it's so entertaining, and you forget that these people are athletes, and even though it's not necessarily real, what they're doing is an athletic feat to help.
But it always makes me laugh at what you just said about it being fake. Everything we love, all pop culture is fake. The Avengers don't exist. There's no such place as Endor. Do you know what I mean? So that's just another part of that. So I like it as a form of entertainment, which is what it is.
Because
makes me laugh at it.
End of the day, they're actors and they're athletes, and it's getting crossed over now.
Exactly.
With Sasha Banks and the other one that we don't mention.
Yeah. Did you see
nice thing to say?
Sleeping's comment here?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome. He's a nice lad. I like his fireplace and I like his coffee and the way he makes you feel welcome in there. Yeah.
There's my friend Liz.
Everybody knows your address, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving it out to people that I know, a private message.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it was, I got a message on Twitter, and he didn't understand Twitter, and he was going to give me his address out, and I said, no, just private message me. Because he didn't understand Twitter, and I'm getting it now. So yeah, it's just the people that you don't know that they're not going to turn up on your doorstep, obviously, but they might say something you don't really want.
Liz is one of my best friends from college.
Liz.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's I did a Discord video chat with her and my other friend Brianna, and we tried to play Star Wars Battlefront 2. We all got it on our PC, and they got it when it was free on the Epic Game Store, and we were going to play it, but Liz was having some issues with it, and it was nothing. It's just being picky. But I played Battlefront with Timo, Jackie Videos that was in here earlier, Liz, Brianna. We played on the PlayStation 4, and that's how I started my channel, was doing those live streams. So there's Gilster's here now. Hey there, Gilster.
Hey, Robert.
There he is. Hi, pal.
I could get a PO box, but
yeah,
I don't know. You get to know people. That's what Mark said. These people, strangers aren't going to say something. You get to know them first, and then they'll probably will. So it's up to you how you do it. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get that much stuff to where I need a PO box. I'll just send my address.
Well, I get things from John Baldry all the time, and got one this morning.
Yeah.
He knows me.
I have an extra webcam that I'm going to box up and send to Liz, so she can have that. And it's just like you said, I'm going to keep that extra satchel that I have too, in case anybody ever needs that.
Yeah, that's the way to be. It's like name of the books. I picked up that book.
That needs that.
If I've got two, I'll send you one. Do you know what I mean? It's not a problem.
You sent me that Luke.
I sure did. Sent you a last 17 Luke because I had one. That's the thing.
I still need it. Poncho, belt, and blaster.
Oh yeah, you do.
And see, this is the largest I've ever had for a live stream. I just looked up and saw that there were 20 people. Yeah, true. I got the Brits on. But this is what I'm talking about. They hop in and they say hi to everybody, and it's
jumpy. Everybody's here.
It's not just for us. It's everybody gets involved, and I absolutely love it.
Well, you've seen it yourself. You'll be on screen, and it's like in every live stream that we go into, all the lads are talking to themselves as well. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Everyone's asking, "Did you get that thing? Did you?" That's the way I've always looked at it. It doesn't necessarily mean that the lads on chat. It means all the ladies and gents in the chat as well. Everyone's involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Wrestling to me is Big Daddy and giant haystacks.
Yeah, you're going back there, are you?
You won't know what the hell that is, but
see you, Timo. Thanks for stopping by.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Oh dear.
This is the way. Yes.
The way, Nicole. It is. Yep. It is.
And it is absolutely amazing. And sleeping. We will have to play Battlefront sometime. I have it on PC. I have it on PS4. I've got Squadrons on both PC and PS4.
Yeah, we need to start doing some gaming together.
Yeah. I recently got Red Dead, and I'll play with both
Red
of you guys.
Dead's awesome.
It's
love Red
it's
Dead.
all
I'll
loaded up.
jump on Red Dead.
Yeah.
We will one night. We'll all get on it. We'll all do it. Yeah.
Come to my bar.
Yeah, Mark's bar. Yeah.
It's super nice. So I don't usually in my gaming streams I would talk about what I did for work, but I don't usually do it that much. I work in a school and I'm a paraprofessional, so I work with special education. So I work with kids on the autism spectrum. And
my youngest son has autism.
When you mentioned that I remembered that. And a couple of years ago, I worked with two boys that couldn't speak, so they used a tablet to use words. They were nonverbal. This year, it's more just helping kids that have a hard time in classrooms. But
Good stuff, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. And I absolutely love what I do. And then I coach sports too. I coached American football, and next year I'll be coaching basketball. I didn't do it this year just because it was so crazy, but I like doing things where I can try to make somebody's day better. So football, like, I may not be the best person when it comes to the X's and O's. I may not be the best technique person, but when I played football, I loved my teammates and I love just the camaraderie of it all. So when I go to football practice, I know people are like, coaches shouldn't be buddies with their players and stuff like that, but you do have to form those relationships. And I coach girls basketball too. When I was in college, I did like traveling team stuff where we'd go around to different cities and play basketball. And some of those girls are going to be seniors this year. And it's too bad because with the restrictions on fans at events, I was planning on going to see some of those seniors play their last games, and I can't do that now. So I'll have to live stream or something. And those were girls that I coached 6 years ago now. So they're graduating and, so that's for anybody who didn't know kind of what I do and
You'll be
so
proud of yourself, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very the same as Tez. What Tez does for a living. I mean, to me, I'm all for people that put themselves out for other people. You know what I mean? I just think it's an amazing achievement. It's something special for people to do that. I'm the same way. I want to be friends with everybody. Yeah, I ain't got a bad bone in my body. I want to be pals with all. You know.
I miss football. I'm missing football already.
Yeah, I know.
When's XFL starting?
Oh, man. Yeah, and that's super interesting because I know the college that I went to, the University of Minnesota Morris, it's a small Division III school. They sent out an interest thing, and I didn't even go there to play football. I went there just to go to school, and then I had one of the coaches message me, and they say, "We see that you played football in high school, like." And I initially started training to be a defensive lineman, but then they needed offensive linemen. And my senior year, I practiced and played a little bit of both offensive and defensive line. So, because we didn't have a very big team and people were getting hurt. But I miss football, and I love.
I do.
Yeah. So that's those are my big.
Since I played, but I still miss it. So
Right.
I blew my knee out, so I had to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was never the best at football or sports, but I absolutely love them. And
Yeah, that means nothing to me. That I'm never the best at singing and dancing doesn't stop me every Friday. You know what I mean?
No.
Who cares? As long as you're enjoying it, who's bothered?
Hey there, John.
Hey, John.
So, yeah,
XFL. What's wrong with XFL?
So that's what I do is I go to work. Monday through Friday. It's been tough with everything that's going on. Every other Wednesday we don't have school to give teachers time to plan for kids that aren't in class and the kids in class. The kid that I started working with at the beginning of the year, he transitioned to just being at home. So I've been moved around quite a bit this year with what I'm doing, but some of these kids I'm most likely going to end up coaching them or working with them in the future. So it's really nice to be working in the school, and we're a super small school, like probably 500 kids in the.
Wow, that is a small one, yeah.
So I'm from a town of like 6,000 people, and the population has just gone down over time. I'm right on the Canadian border. I mentioned it in Beyond the Blast Doors, the Force Connect show, the Colin show, that I could walk across the highway, go through my neighbor's backyard, swim across the little river, and be in Canada.
Start a moonshine business.
Yeah.
But
Untouchables.
yeah, and it's hard because my dad is from Canada, so we've got family over there that we haven't seen now for almost a year. So
it's going on.
The border's closed. And Papa Gord's stream, I asked him if he had any idea, because they're starting to go back to school, and I'm hoping that if you get the vaccination and everything, that you might be able to go back and forth if you can prove that you've been vaccinated, which would be awesome, because then instead of one, I'd be able to see my family that I haven't seen in a while, and two, I'd be able to go to a Walmart that's 5 minutes away rather than 2 hours away. So
I like Papa God.
You put your priorities straight.
Brandon the bootlegger.
Yeah, Josh. You see, I want 10%. It was my idea, Brandon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're all good. You're sending me the Shadows of the Empire book.
All right, okay, yeah. That'll be for your first case.
But man, yeah, I have just loved, and I know there are more people in the chat now, so I might just do a quick little show again of what I got. And
can I just show you this that I've got today from D'Agostini?
Yeah.
So I want a mini rant.
Oh,
D'Agostini, right? They've messed me about. I'm going to say something else. Then they're going to mess me about. You know me X-wing build I'm building.
yeah.
They missed out 56-60. It shows 56-60, but they sent me 61-65. So that lot, I can't do anything with this lot because that lot's not arrived. So they sent me a free gift. Sent me a free gift today. As you
right.
Darth Maul. All boxed. Lovely. Nice. But the thing is, I've already got one.
Oh, well,
Thanks, D'Agostini.
What were they thinking?
It is still in the box and everything like that. So it's going in the auction tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll start it at £10. But I've already got one. Why are you sending me free gift? I've already got.
So, I got the vintage low gray, and it's the darker. So there's like a light gray stripes and then a brown one.
Yeah.
It looks like this is the brown, and I'm really excited to just take a look at this figure. But I got Lando from Soule, and I didn't realize, because at the time I wasn't collecting stuff, but now that I think about it, I didn't see anything for Soule or the Force Awakens when it came to Black Series and stuff in the stores.
Which is funny, because the Soule line is one of the best Black Series lines. Considering it's so cheap, the figures, and it was basically one of the first times I used a photo op. So it was awesome. I love the Soule line.
That's awesome. I got the Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo.
Right. Yep. Good.
Yep. I'm gonna stand those right next to each other. I absolutely love the chemistry. I got Chewbacca, and Chewbacca, I had a hard time not putting him on my Mount Rushmore, because he is the epitome of a friend and the epitome of loyalty. And we were talking about it, and you talk about the big three of Star Wars, and you're talking about Luke, Han, and Leia, but you can't leave Chewbacca off that. You got to say the big four. I mean, without him, man.
Yeah,
so
I got
to do with the medal.
Yep, he finally got the medal.
Agree.
I got the Shadow Trooper from The Force Unleashed, which I have the Force Unleashed 2 for my Xbox, and I have the Ultimate Sith Edition for my PC. But I loved the Force Unleashed when I was growing up, and you could change all the different costumes and get all the lightsaber crystals. And I know people talk about Starkiller being way too overpowered and stuff like that, but it was so much fun to play that game and pull down a Star Destroyer and grab a TIE fighter and throw it into a group of people. And so I love the gaming greats, and I'm whenever they come out, I'm gonna get them. It looks like I've kind of missed out on the Revan and the Nihilus. I can't seem to find a good price.
You'll find them. They'll be re-released and they'll come back out. You'll look at it. It's just patience. All it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
I mean, you've heard me on my Pala Boys. I moan and moan and moan about. I can't find anything. Look behind me. Do you know what I mean? You can find them. You can, eventually you'll get hold of them. So
somebody out there's got one.
Of course they have, Mark. Of course they have.
Yeah. And then next was the Fallen Order Scout Trooper.
Yeah, I like that.
And
really
I absolutely love Fallen Order. I've done
great game. Yeah.
I've done a playthrough that I streamed, and I've considered doing another stream of it again. Absolutely fantastic.
Mark, have you played it, Fallen Order?
Yeah.
You played it. It's awesome, isn't it? I love Fallen Order. Yeah.
I completed it within 3 days.
Yeah, it's not a long game. I'll give it that. It's definitely not a long one, but
it took me about a week, 200.
Yeah.
But I would probably like to do it again, to be honest with you.
Got him with all the accessories, which is really cool. And it's nice because Jet's Toy Hut, when you order it, you can click on it and it says the condition of the figure.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have any accessories, it says no other accessories. And then, so there are different price points. So there's the loose figures. Yeah. And then, and then the price goes up if you have all of the accessories. But there's Pete Fletcher right there. Hey Pete, thanks for stopping by. And you know what? I'm going to show what I'm going to do for the giveaways. And because I recently got I'm going to show this again because this is probably the favorite thing that I got all day. It's Into the Dark, and it is signed "May the Force be with you always" to Brandon, and it's Claudia Gray. And
that's awesome.
I also have a order set for a signed copy of Into the Dark by Justina Ireland, the smaller young adult one, or the junior novel. So now, so I'll have the 3 main signed copies of the books, and my goal is to have at least one signed by each author. So when Cavan Scott's comes out, I'll try to get a signed one of that. Back here you can see I got the variant cover of the High Republic 1 with Abar Chris and Yoda, and then I got the original High Republic 1 where it's the first issue cover. So I wanted to make sure I got those. I'm not going to get the physical copies. I'm going to do the digital from now on, but I will be doing a couple giveaways, and I know you guys know what they are.
Also, like giveaways.
Yeah. I will be giving away, when I reach 750 subscribers, I will be giving away a carbonized Boba Fett. And it's not because when we were talking on the Pala Boys, they were saying what you didn't like it, but no, I do like this, and it's just I feel like somebody will really appreciate it. I haven't gotten any of the other carbonized figures, so it's not something that I want, but somebody might just think this is cool, especially with Book of Boba Fett coming out. It's it's a cool addition to the shelf, and it's not just a plain figure. It's carbonized, and somebody might say, "Oh, what's that?" And you can show that off. So, that Boba. And then for 1,000, I'll be doing the Rise of Kylo Ren comic book, which I have an extra copy of, and then centerpiece Black Series.
Nice. Nice. Good giveaways there, pal.
And then, here we go. because I have these other books signed, I am going to clear up a little bit of room on my shelf, and I'll be doing a video pretty shortly, and I will be giving away all 3 of these. They'll go to one person. It's a hardcover. It's not the signed one that I just got, but they're because I have these ones in audiobook. And then I'll be having a signed one come of this one. So I'll be giving away.
Is it worth reading? I collect all the books, as you know, but the only ones I haven't got at the moment is any of the High Republic. None of them yet. So
you don't have any of them?
Thanks, Jen. No,
we've only got the first. We've only got the first one in the UK. We haven't got the others yet.
You know, they are great, Shabby. And I did one of my podcast episodes. My second podcast was why I think people should read the High Republic, and it's for casual fans, or if it's somebody who hasn't, picked up a Star Wars book. And Jerry Cable from the Beyond the Box Stores, when we were playing Squadrons, we were just chatting about the High Republic, and Qui-Gon being my favorite character. All of these Jedi are very Qui-Gon-esque. So seeing the way that these Jedi are compared just 150 years away, 200 years away from where we see them in the Phantom Menace, it's really cool to see how the Force powers are used. And
does it feel like Star Wars, though? That's the thing for me with the book. I always acknowledge a book when I've read it. Does it feel like Star Wars? If it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll see.
To me, it feels very Star Wars, but it feels fresh. The way that they talk about things, the way they talk about the Force is very Star Wars. It is very awesome. Jedi throughout the books question their connection to the Force. They question some of the master and apprentice dynamic and stuff like that. They talk about, and my favorite thing from this, I'm not going to spoil anything, but one of the Jedi masters in it talk about there's a part where one of the younger Jedi seems like he's going to turn to the dark side, and they talk to him after whatever happens, and they say, the way is not set. Turning to the dark side is not a series of bad days. It's a deliberate choice.
Right. Okay.
And when I got this, I was like, okay, this is going to be a quick, fun read. This has some chapters that are absolutely emotional hitters, like heavy hitters. I read this all in one afternoon. Awesome character building. So when I read these are the books that it's like, these would be what are made into movies with all the characters, that kind of stuff. These are like the separate episodes where you learn more about the characters.
Yeah.
And it is,
great stuff.
I cannot recommend it. I cannot give it any higher praise. Charles Soule with The Light of the Jedi, the task that he had to introduce all of these characters and make us care about them and be interested in them, it's super tough job. I absolutely loved it. The first third of the book, I couldn't put it down. So 130 pages, I couldn't put it down.
No, I buy the young adult, the Lucasfilm novels, and I buy the Del Rey novels. Do I have to keep buying the comics to keep it all entwined, or can I is each one an individual story? Because I won't be buying the comics for it again.
I don't believe you'd need to get the comics to keep the story. It seems like they're going to do a very good job of the first comic takes place. I made the mistake of reading the first comic when I was halfway done with this, and it spoiled a little bit of something. Yeah. But from what I get from the comics, it's going to be the separate stories that build on the characters further, and it's going to go into some of the adventures that they take separate from what is going on in the main books. So Charles Soule, Kevin Scott, Claudia Gray were all, when they were announced to be connected to this project, I knew that I had to give everything a shot. And
Kevin's got I don't really know about that Charles Soule. I know about obviously Claudia Gray.
Yeah, so Charles Soule did a bunch of he did the Rise of Kylo Ren comic. He's done several different Vader runs, and I know he's a big comic book guy. So when they said that he'd be doing the introductory novel of this, I was very interested. And because most of what he does is comic books. So when I read this, it was a fantastic job.
Now, does it have its own timeline then? Because obviously when you open the canon books, does the High Republic have its own timeline in it in the first few pages? Or does it tie in with all the others' timelines for the canon books?
It just shows it separate before. So it takes place 200 years before. And right now they're saying there's going to be 3 phases of this project, kind of like the MCU did with the different phases.
Okay.
Light of the Jedi, Trials of the Jedi, and then something else. I can't remember it right now. But the first one, Light of the Jedi, is the first phase, and that's going to run halfway into 2022. So it is going to be a very big project that spans, it's probably going to be, I'm going to say like 6 or 7 years by the time it's all done. And timeline wise, I think it's going to end with The Acolyte, which is the Disney Plus show that they announced, which is going to be set 50 years before The Phantom Menace. And I think we're going to see the end of the High Republic come up to that.
Got you.
So it is going to connect way more than I think people think it will. And I honestly can't recommend it enough. Can
I just mention to Sleeping Collectibles? I did a video about 2 months ago of all the canon books, and I've rated them. So if you watch that, you'll see that it's only my opinion, but what my top must-reads are. What's pretty good, what isn't pretty good. So if you look at my channel, you'll see a video of that there. It's called the Del Rey books. So
yeah. And I'm kind of doing what, and I mentioned this earlier, what Shabby's doing. I'm trying to get all of the, whether it's an audiobook or it's a physical copy, I'm trying to get all of the canon books and then
it's
other
good.
ones.
It's really good. Instead of spending your time, if you didn't like the last few movies, instead of spending your time being negative about that, there's also other stories out there that are awesome. Right. So that's why I buy the books, read the books.
Yeah. And a lot of these books are young adult or junior, so they're pretty quick reads. The Queen's Peril and Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnson, super fun books.
The first one was. The second one,
yeah.
The second one made me feel like a 14-year-old girl, and that's the difference. Yeah. That was it was the first book out of all the new canon books that I've had to sit down and go, should I be reading this? It's the story's all right, but when they're nipping out, sliding out of the palace to go to nightclubs, and there's a certain thing which I'm going to be careful what I say, what women go through every month, and that happened. That's what I mean. I'm reading it like, should I be reading this? Because it doesn't feel like it's a book for me at all. The first one, unbelievable book, unbelievable book. Second one, the story was there, but it just kept taking me out. So there's too many realistic things in it for me to go, hang on a minute. Do you know what I mean? So, but Ahsoka's book, the Ahsoka book is unbelievable. Great novel to read. Yeah. What is it? The other one, the Solo one, going back to Solo, this one. This was a great book, Most Wanted. That was a good one. About the story just before. Yeah, this is a good one. It's Kira and Han, obviously, before the Solo movie, which is pretty good. But one of a really good book that came out recently was this one. Now, we talk about Lost Stars in, doing all the movies and all the times. This does exactly the same thing. He goes through and finds. He's one of those. He's like Quinlan Voss, where he can touch something, and he can. So I'm not going to ruin the book, but he finds so many things from the movies, and he does the same. So hence why he collects all these artifacts, and it's superb. That's a great book to have. So yeah, the books are awesome.
Is that one of the Galaxy's Edge kind of tied in ones?
This one. He goes to Batuu, and it is a journey, but it's set all over, but he does do that. The only one that's tied to that at the moment is, let's have a look, this one, Black Spire, which is not bad. But the nicest thing about this is like a sequel, if you will, to Phasma. It's got the same people that were in the Phasma book in this, but it tells you more about V. Maradi, about Captain Cardinal, and the story's pretty good. And they do it on Batu. They're actually on Batu. They arrive there looking for a new resistance base, if you will. But it's a good story. It's not bad. It's funny that as well, because a lot of people slate the Canto Bight scene in The Last Jedi, but the book Canto Bight is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Really?
It's 4 stories, and it's from different characters that live at Canto Bight and what they go through. And it is. Honestly, I recommend, don't just see the words Canto Bight and think, oh, I'm not having that. The actual book is superb. It's really good.
Thank you for the advice on that. That's awesome.
Well, there you go. That's having 10 minutes.
I didn't like Phasma.
Oh, I loved it. It's one of my favourite books. I love that book.
I've got it on my bookshelf. I'm probably going to read it after I read Bloodline.
So good.
But I get the Audible ones. So maybe it was the person reading it. I don't know.
And part of the reason why half of the stuff I have is on audiobook is when I was in college, I got my head bounced off the hard turf from our college football field. And it was right at the beginning of the season. And it took me a couple weeks to come back, like an extra 2 weeks from what we thought it was going to. And for the rest of the year, I had a hard time keeping track of words. And I'd read something and then I'd keep going. And then I'd catch myself going back to the same spot. And I still find myself having some troubles reading that. But when I've started getting back into reading physical book, the physical copies, and
I just like the physical. I think it's like toys because I'm a toy collector. I like the physical stuff here, so hence books. I just agreed what Nicole said as well, but I think it'd make a good TV show on Disney Plus. Every episode would be a chapter of the book where he goes next and who he finds next. And, it's a great book,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. They're all pretty good. There's been a couple of books that are garbage, but apart from that, I would say out of the canon books that's come since 2015, 8 out of 10, all of them. There's only a couple of them that I'm not really sure. The rest of them are awesome. The only problem that I have, sorry if I'm going on, I apologise. The only problem I have is sometimes the characters in the books are not the same as the characters they're in the movies. Thrawn is different to me than he is in Rebels. Holdo, as we've discussed, is different.
Right.
Phasma is different. If you actually got the Phasma that's in the Phasma book into the movie, I think it'd be, it wouldn't be as much of a joke like she's only a side character. But Luke as well. Before The Last Jedi came out, they introduced the book, The Legends of Luke Skywalker, and it was a superb book. It was superb. Now, the book tells you that this is just the myths around the galaxy. You take what's real and what isn't. But when he's pulling down Star Destroyers and when he's fishing and when he's doing... So you get so hyped up when you read that book and then you see Luke in the movie. It's, again, different. Do you see what I mean? So...
It's jumping asking me there if I got the premium. I didn't get the premium one because I'm just going to put it on the wall. So all the dioramas, I wasn't really bothered about those. So you get the frame, you get the thing to put it on the wall. So it's just massive. So I have nowhere to put it. So it's gonna hang on the wall.
Wrong one.
I did the Millennium Falcon as well. I was going to make a diorama for that, but it was just so big. I sold it in the end. Wow. It was nice. It was nice building it and painting it and everything like that. It looked awesome, but it was too big.
So something separate from Star Wars. I don't know if anybody saw. I tweeted and I said, as a grown adult, I went through a McDonald's drive-thru and got Pokemon cards. They're doing Happy Meals for the 25th anniversary of of Pokemon, and I grew up playing Pokemon. I had the lime green Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red, and I
had his ZX Spectrum.
Yeah,
ZX Spectrum, bloody hell, yeah.
Yeah. So I know people are hunting down these cards, which is crazy. Yeah. They are going to McDonald's, and McDonald's had to send out a thing. Yeah, they had to send out a thing to stores saying, do not sell these, because people were buying them by the case. To collect them. Yep. They were buying them by the case, but McDonald's said you can't buy them unless you buy a Happy Meal. So because they don't want to, like most places don't want to run out of the cards for the Happy Meals for the kids.
Yeah.
So I was gonna check to see if my local McDonald's would sell some of them to me, but I'm just gonna get this one pack and open this pack, and I just
this is exciting.
I had hundreds of Pokemon cards when I was little, and I go to garage sales and just get the rubber banded stacks for like 50 cents of Pokemon cards. So I they've got a mix of some of the new ones. So it's Litten, which is from Sun. One of the OGs, Bulbasaur.
Oh yeah.
I have never even heard of this one. So it's Fennekin. No idea.
Nope.
And then Totodile, which was really popular when I remember one of my big things, my memory of going to a Toys R Us. I didn't have a Toys R Us near me. It was down towards Minneapolis, so it was 4.5 hours away. I went with my grandma, and I remember getting some of the Lord of the Rings toys, and I got one of the Pokemon movies on DVD. And that's what sticks in my mind about Toys R Us. I never got to go. So, yeah.
Let's get Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, I had tons of those too.
That was an excellent game.
Yeah. And I think I only played one actual game of it with a friend who actually understood how to play it. The rest of it was me just screwing around. But yeah, just so many different things that bring me back to when I was a kid. And I looked at it and I was like, why are they doing Pokemon? And I didn't realize that Pokemon came out the year that, well, shortly after I was born. I didn't realize.
Oh, right. About 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. See you, Sleeping Collectibles. Thanks for checking it out. If you have a stream, I'm definitely going to be on it. I love just hearing them chat and love the community. So, yeah, I know that I was tweeting about not spending a lot of money on Black Series, and I was like, I'm only going to get these ones. But then I saw some good deals on them. GameStop had that thing, and I have 16 on my shelf, and I have.
See, you're catching up. But Tez's done the same thing. Oh, I'm only going to get one or two. What's the up to, Mark? 8, is it? 7 or 8?
I'm a collector.
Yeah.
So I've got 16 on the shelves, and between pre-orders and what I've got in the mail, I have like another 16 or 20 on their way.
So, well done. Good. Good.
I don't collect them, but I've just got 4 new ones.
Yeah. Which ones are those, Mark?
You do, though, don't you?
I've got the Endor, Han, Luke, Leia, and Vader.
Nice.
I've just got these come through yesterday, but they're not for me. I've got them for other people.
IG. Is that an IG-11? Yeah.
Best guy.
Where did you get the IG-11 from over there? Because that's an exclusive over here.
From Joe's Leicester Toy Shop.
Wow, okay.
I put it in this Twitter group if anybody wanted one.
It's a nice big gift, really nice.
Leicester says he wanted one, so I got him it.
So I know I'm not going to bring up who it is, but it is somebody that is in the chat. They have, and I've said this in the other live streams, they've mentioned sending me a box of vintage Star Wars figures. Yeah.
Oh, they're in the chat. All right, listen.
He's going to say, I'm not going to say whether or not you get it, but super kind. And some of the figures that I really want, my wish list figures, are Wicket and the rest of the Ewoks, and I've got one of them now. Darth Vader.
Oh, I've got a spare one.
There you go.
I'm going to put it in the auction tomorrow.
Why am I spacing out? I'm trying to think. And at some point, I want to get the whole line, but I'm just thinking about the ones that I really, really want on my shelf.
Yeah. It's not good.
I have a C-3PO, so I want to get R2-D2 to put right next to him.
Not cheap.
Right, not cheap.
Which C-3PO do you want? The removable limbs or the original?
No, the loose limbs, they don't come off.
Right, yeah.
But I did order on eBay some of the star stands to help keep them upright, because those things tip over like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to have my Obi-Wan or something tip over and then have any part of the lightsaber bust off.
Yes, that's happened to me. The Darth Vader, I think it was. The tip broke off. Oh,
yeah,
nightmare.
Yeah, but I'm other than that, I'm just having fun getting Black Series and doing those shorts of them. And I recently did a comparison of the Black Series Darth Vader to the hello there.
The Hoth Rebels.
Nice. Those are nice.
I've got them because I've got the base. They're going as a job lot tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, are they?
But I did a comparison of the vintage collection, and I've only got 2 of the vintage collection figures, and it's K2SO and Darth Vader. But I talk about it, and I think it's just the size of them. Like getting vintage Star Wars figures, it's like that's the size that they came out in, and I like the history of them, and I like the look of them. So I'm going to collect those. But when it comes to other figures, I prefer the 6-inch.
I did. I mean, I never did at the start. I mean, you've all seen my videos. You've seen my collection. I've got tons of vintage collection, loose 3/4-inch figures, blah, blah, blah. And when I first saw the 6-inch, I said, no chance, because that's not Star Wars to me. Star Wars should be 3/4-inch. Right. And I was saying to myself, we're never going to get vehicles from it. We're never going to get this. But the minute I saw him, that was it. Now I'm hooked. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone the flip side. I'll only pick up vintage collection now, ones I like, this, that. And so I won't pick them all up anymore. But Black Series, I've got to pick them all up.
Yeah. So I'm getting more Black Series. I've got Ahsoka that should arrive any day.
Cool.
That goes with, I believe it's the one that goes with the Ghost crew.
So it's the Rebels Ahsoka you're getting?
I believe so.
I've got,
I'll have to check, because I'm not sure if it's because the purple one is the Rebels one. The purple side is the Rebels one. The gold one is the one from the Mandalorian, right?
No, from the Clone Wars.
Oh, from the
Clone Wars, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they haven't done
the same as the one that came out in the red and black box. It's the face upgrade.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I've got the red and black box.
I'm not sure exactly which one it is. I pre-ordered, or maybe I ordered. I'm not sure, because I have a hard time.
Hey, it don't matter, Brandon. They're both awesome. Both of them. Beautiful figures. You know what I mean? Whichever which one you get.
I got Moff Gideon Black Series.
Yeah. Good figure.
Dark Ray, because my my GameStop order got canceled when I.
What color is your hilt on your Dark Ray? Mine's gold.
I haven't gotten it yet. It should.
Right.
When I get the.
I love gold.
I think gold is I think I was talking to Vern at Oakhurst, and he thinks that the gold might be the rare one, because a lot of people are getting the silver. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So
I'll have to look out for that. I've got Cad Bane, Thrawn, Cody, all on pre-order. I've got the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba Fett with the flamethrower with the cut in half gun. I've got a Clone Trooper, one of the Phase 1s, but the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett and the Clone Trooper are both through Zavi, because I couldn't get them. I couldn't get them. And one of the people on Beyond the Blast Door is Framey, Frank and Amy. They
I know you mean. Yeah, good British people.
Yeah, they suggested Zavi, and because I couldn't find it anywhere else. So
you never found the Return of the Jedi on GameStop. You never got. I got mine through them.
The newer deluxe one.
Yeah, the 6-inch Boba Fett Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I got it through GameStop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's apparently not going to come until June for me.
Yeah, it's June. Same as Bo-Katan. The only 2 pre-orders I have left is Bo-Katan, which I got through Amazon. So fingers crossed with that one. And the Deluxe Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. I cancelled all the others, though.
Okay. Yeah. I've got Thrawn, Cad Bane, Cody, Moff Gideon, Clone Trooper. Yeah, I've got a bunch that and now that I've got the all the Hoth figures, I've been thinking about getting one of the Wampas.
Beautiful, that Wampa. Yeah, really cool, that Wampa.
The 3 men in a
what about the snow speeder? You want the snow speeder?
It was $18.99 on GameStop, but I don't have a GameStop near me, and they couldn't find stock, and they were only doing it in store.
Yeah,
the snow speeder.
Yeah, it was $110 off.
Oh,
yep. I put a tweet up about it, and it was in store only. They wouldn't ship it. And,
got the price wrong, didn't they?
Yeah.
$110 off. Bloody hell.
Yeah. I'd love to find a deal like that, but
yeah, well,
yeah. The best deal was on Jude's birthday. We gone to Walmart years ago, and they were selling the X-wing and the TIE Fighter from the Force Awakens for $8 each. I bought about 5 of them. I came out with like 5 each.
Right.
Like that. All up there. Still on them all.
That's awesome.
Never opened them. But I haven't sold them. I'll keep them. But for that price, I just thought I'm having them. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah. And that's the tough part is like the biggest store that we had was a Kmart in my town. It was a big Kmart,
right.
And they closed down a couple of years ago. So we don't have anything. Like we've got dollar stores and we've got our grocery stores, but we don't have any big box stores or anything like that. The closest Target and Walmart, unless I go to Canada, is 2 hours away.
Got you. This is why all these lads will help each other. This is why it's so fantastic. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Community we are. That's why it's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. So. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I'm gonna have to go soon. I've got work today.
I'm tired,
and I know Mark's probably all sorts of tired.
Yeah. This has been awesome, though, man. Thanks for having us on. I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you're such a nice person, man. I'm so glad you're catching on, and everyone knows who you are. You're such a lovely guy. So I wish you nothing but the best. You know, it's nice to. Again, it's nice to get to know you over these past few months and see you grow, man. You're superb. Yeah, we love you. Honestly, absolutely. Awesome.
I appreciate it. So, yeah, if anybody has any last comments in the chat, go ahead and throw them up. You can, follow us all. We're all on Twitter. I've got Instagram. I've got TikTok. Most of it's just to do those little shorts. But I can't believe I got a TikTok. And it's super funny because my niece started making fun of me. And I was just like, fine, you don't get to watch my TikToks. So then she didn't find out that I had the Mandalorian Monopoly. And then I showed her and she was like, oh, when did you get that? And I was like, you would have known if you didn't make fun of my TikToks. So
isn't it good, that Mandalorian set, the Monopoly set? It's awesome.
I'm actually probably gonna go play that with my mom and my niece after this stream is done. But
I wonder if they'll change that base.
Oh yeah. You never know. It's a great board.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it. I like the fact that it's not just a traditional Monopoly. There's different ways to win the game.
So, you notice that as soon as you open it, don't you? Like, this will look like Monopoly. Yeah.
Right. I appreciate everybody who has stopped by and chatted with us.
It's been fun.
It really is a great community, and it's awesome to have this many people in a chat. I'm not great at doing video editing. I'm not great at reviews.
None of us are. That's the state. None of us are.
Right.
We just blokes who like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Want to make videos for other people who like Star Wars and toys. Whatever.
That's the thing. I mean, we all laugh about Mark being on live. Bloody hell, is he on YouTube? You go like, but that's the sort of community we have. You're not going to let anybody else down. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And that's the way it is. Yeah. I'm
a media whore.
It's
up to me.
So if anybody watching hasn't subscribed to these guys, Mark Shabby Geek on
Do it.
YouTube and Blue Harvest Vintage Toys. I should be pointing over here, but they, now you can go to my channel and I have you guys all linked in my suggested channels. Yeah, or featured channels. Yeah.
Oh,
so
and thanks, Brandon.
Marvelous. Yeah, I've got all you guys. I've got Burn, Dudes Nerdery, Usual Mike, all those guys.
How good are those boys?
Yep.
Hey, how good are those boys?
All you guys. Tez.
No.
Who? No. You ruined it. You ruined it.
Yeah, don't bother with him.
Yeah. You got to include the weird one that licks the toys.
Yeah. Hey, how good is Artez though? How good are his videos? I love Artez. He's awesome.
And it's so fun because, like you said, we all collect different things. So
exactly, we all play different.
Marvelous Collectibles here. He was doing a stream, and I was watching him play WWE 2K20, and I was, I haven't played a wrestling game in probably 10 years. So I was watching him play Marvelous Sleeping Collectibles. He collects a whole bunch of different stuff.
He sure does, yeah.
I was watching the 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard, and a Dude's Nerdery was doing opening Marvel Legends, and he had a couple of those retro Spider-Man figures.
I want that one
from the cartoons, and that's the cartoon that I think I grew up with the most, was the animated Spider-Man. So seeing the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Mysterio, and like all of that stuff, I might be getting some of those figures. So,
I have a soft spot with Dudes
Please.
I remember Dudes Nerdery when he first started, and he got in touch with us like most, share. And then do you remember, Mark? He hit 100 subscribers, and he put it out, and he was so happy. And now look at him; he's done so well. I'm so proud of Dudes Nerdery. He's done brilliantly. He really has.
That's it. Right, I'm going to put a video out once we've done this.
Perfect.
It's a vintage haul, so check that out for tomorrow's auction. Not trying to self-publicize myself or anything.
No, you're good. I honestly don't care. And when I started my gaming streams and stuff like that, people were like, "Is it okay if I mention like what I have going on?" And I said, "Absolutely."
It's all about. It's a good way to be, Brandon. That's what it's all about.
I was on a live stream where somebody said, "Well, like, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing this, and I might stream this game later." And then I got one of their mods like ban me, and they were like, "No self promotion." I was like, "Okay, I'm never gonna watch."
That's what YouTube is. That's what YouTube is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, yeah.
I like the fact I like that on other people's things though, because there'll be people like I say, I'll watch somebody with a guest on, and I'll find them interesting. And if they don't promote themselves, I'm not going to find them. So I'm glad that they have done. I'm all for that.
I don't like that when you've got to ask. You've got to put in the chat, where's this person from? Where can I find them? And things like that. You've got to publicise everybody. And that's I think we try and do that on the Pala Boys.
We do. You do it really well. You always put it in
YouTube.
Yeah.
Links in the chat.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I'm going to show.
Yosta's going to watch it on the lunch break. I've just put it up, so it's up now. But watch it after us, obviously.
I've got one coming up tomorrow, so.
All right. So I got all you guys. Mark, Blue Harvest Vintage Toys, 857. Shabby, 339.
Get to that 1,000.
Wow, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. 339, that means I've got a couple since I've been on here, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Got all those guys. Papa Gord, Beyond the Blast Doors, Paul's Collectibles. Yep.
Look at that roster. Awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. And these are...
I'm subscribed to them all.
Yeah. These are my go-tos. Yeah. These are my go-tos. These are the people that I watch. These are the people, Sean and Salacious, they really encouraged me when I was thinking about doing those shorts, and I was asking them questions about it. And, they always like my videos on Twitter or not Twitter, TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. And it is just a lot of fun to do those. So.
Well, it's like I said, you've got your YouTube channels there, but now they're all your friends, every one of them. Do you know what I mean? And that's the nicest thing. You're watching your friends' videos, not just YouTube videos.
Right.
So it's awesome.
It always amazes me when I'm watching a video and they mention my name. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah. It's overwhelming. It really is, but it's awesome. I love doing this.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah. All right. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I've got a long weekend, so I'll be doing probably a stream of some game. I'll be doing a stream of some game, probably either Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PS4 or Red Dead. And then Monday I have off. So if anybody is doing a stream on Monday, I will gladly hop on it. If anybody wants to come chat anything with me, that'd be great. I'll probably.
Well, we've got us After Dark stream tomorrow night as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to pop in
I
that?
remember, and we've got Empire Toys this afternoon. Well, tonight for Mark.
Yeah.
So
What time would that be for me?
If I'm away.
it's going to be 4:30 for me, so 3:30 for you.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make sure I hop in and support that.
And
too.
your chat's been awesome. There's a few names here that we haven't seen in the Palaboy, so thanks for making us feel so welcome.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Boys as well.
Yep. It's all great. So 1000th Ghost recently hit 200.
Well done.
Yeah.
Met him on Sleeping Collectibles, Marvelous Collectibles. Met him
I'm
on.
going to stick together.
You sure have, buddy.
On Sleeping. So
I'll check them all out. If they're all on Twitter, just hit us up. You know what I mean? I'm a dad of 4. My mind's like a sieve. So,
That's your age.
yeah, that's just my age. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll end the show by saying, "May the Force be with you," and yum nub.
Thanks, everyone.
See you, everybody.